We're live. Call the meeting back to order. We're on 8.3, appeal hearing for dog kennel application. Chad.
Yes. So we did have an application and a request for a new kennel license for Scotia's Finest Frenchies at 256 Larder Lake Drive. And if council remembers that I provided essentially the same report that's in your package today was presented and reviewed with you on September the 11th. So I'm not going to go over all of the details, but at that September 11th meeting, council selected today as the date where we would hear the appeals. And so you were notified that we did receive 3 appeals in relation to this kennel license. And so one of the requirements as outlined in our dog bylaw is for those appeals to come to council. And so within your package were copies of the 3 appeal letters. And just by way of update, the first appeal letter was from Helen and Stephen Abel, and I believe that council was provided with an email that you all would have received from them, just indicating that they were not able to be here today, but they just wanted to kind of reiterate some of their concerns with the kennel that is proposed. So that's one update for you. Because we were in a strike position, we weren't able to mail out the letter, so we had our bylaw officer who was with us today, so Kendall's with us, and so Kendall hand-delivered each of the letters so that the folks that made their appeal received that information in plenty of time to be aware of the meeting today. And there's one last update, that the appeal letter from Paul LeBlanc and Jeanette Lively, that once Kendall was hand-delivering the letter, they indicated that they would not be here today as well. And after some further conversation, that they are actually satisfied with the kennel and they no longer have the same concerns that they did when they wrote the appeal letter. So
they're no longer concerned?
They are no longer concerned, is what they had indicated verbally to Kendall when he presented the letter to them. So I did want to just provide council with that update, and as well just to let you know that the owner of the kennel is with us here today. So if there's any questions that come up that we can't answer, most certainly she's here and is able to answer any questions you may have as well. As Kendall is here, Kendall is through our bylaw officer is the one that kind of manages our kennel licenses, and so if there's any specific questions that I can't answer, that Kendall may be able to answer as well. So I guess at this point, we just open up to the floor to discussion, and essentially what we're looking for is a final decision by council, and as outlined in your options, essentially the options that council has is to uphold the appeal and refuse the kennel license. So you could completely turn down the kennel license and not allow it to move forward. You could grant the kennel license as has been approved previously by the bylaw officer, or you could grant the kennel license with some additional conditions or changes that you do wish to see happen to try to address any of the concerns that were raised by the appellants.
Are there any simple solutions to the concerns that the people have?
So I think as outlined in the report, some of the concerns that were previously raised have been addressed. I think that probably the primary concern would be related to noise. And so it's natural that if you have a kennel, there's going to be naturally there's going to be some dogs and there's going to be some dog barking. And I guess that is kind of the common theme between the 3 original appeals that came in is that level. I guess some when we've been considering that, and when Kendall was making his decision originally on that, this kennel is a little different than some of the other ones in the fact that it is primarily dog breeding, and so some of the activity that happens in relation to other kennels where there is like doggy daycare and large numbers of dogs coming and going on a daily basis, that concern is perhaps a little bit different. Anyway, so I'm not...
Some of them we take our stray dogs that we catch off of the street and stuff like that to them. I know we do in the one in the basin.
Yeah, and so that is not the case with this kennel. That is not how this operation is happening. It's strictly related to breeding.
Breeding.
Only.
only breeding, so there's no other dogs that are brought in for doggy daycare, those kind of things. It's only at the breeding level. So the number of dogs on site obviously directly corresponds when litters of puppies happen. And I don't know all the details of exactly how long they stay before
there? No.
before they go out, but
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
And so at the 8-week period, then the dogs are obviously sold and we're no longer on the premises.
And they're inside, they're in the home, there's a special.
Want to come up?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hi.
Hey,
They're inside, they're in the home. We have a special room with oxygen, incubator, all of that. We don't allow people to come in and out of the home and kind of contracting any type of virus, coccidia, anything like that. We're very, very careful. When it comes to barking with our dogs, I do also have bark collars on. So it is very, very minimum as well. We got a very tight-knit community. We're all very close. And yeah, I don't want it noisy either, on the premises either, right? But yeah, no, puppies only.
anyone have any, Sharon? Oh, no, Adela? I think he was first.
Yeah, just maybe Chad, you could, so how long you been in business there?
I've been breeding for a couple of years, but I didn't start to really start breeding, like, I
On a
guess,
large
bigger,
scale. So I
bigger
guess
scale
what I'm
till
asking-
now.
So
this
was there a license granted previously, obviously?
No, I only had one little dog.
Oh, okay, so this is just a new,
Yeah,
A new license, okay.
we just built the kennel.
okay,
And, yeah, we just built the kennel, and so we just started accumulating a couple more females, and then we have our male there, and, yeah, we
Yeah,
started.
so I
breeding
guess,
some
you know,
puppies.
there would be no restrictions if anyone of council wanted to, you know, breed their own dog, you know, and have one dog on your property.
No.
Yeah.
It
Just-
wouldn't require a kennel
I just wanted
license,
to
but
know
it,
some history.
It's just
And
because
I'd
it's
like to hear from the
commercial
bylaw
operation.
officer too as well.
In regards to complaints with noise or, at one point in time, there was a complaint of noise that was made to animal control. Animal control and myself visited, the area, and at the time, it appears that the, complaint did not necessarily pertain to Scotia Spanish Frenchies. There are some other dogs in the community. I know when I was there myself to swim by, some dogs had been left in the development up there, and you could very clearly hear them barking. Upon my initial inspection of the facilities that were established, there is an oak building where the dogs are housed from time to time. There's quite a bit of noise dampening that happens with that as well. I know that there is an established routine with when these dogs are outside and not outside. They're not left outside for long periods of time. Not only is that recommended in the guidelines that we use to establish best practices and these licenses, but also they're very small bodied dogs, and we all know predatory birds, coyotes, things like that, they're very prevalent in the area. So I certainly have no concerns that the dogs are left outside for any extended period of time.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, Sharon?
Thank you. I'm aware of your site. I've been there
Okay, great.
visiting. Anyway, I don't have any problem going ahead with this. It's for a year, so it can be reviewed at the end of a year. The noise thing, I think, would be the biggest issue.
Of course.
And if you can keep them sort of,
Quiet as
I don't know,
possible.
contained or put them in the house or whatever, as long as they're not barking continuously, because I do have friends and family that live across the lake, and just because of the topographic of the area, you can hear the dogs barking. And I'm not saying it's your dogs, but
Right, and actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. I have multiple videos that it's not our dogs, that it's other people's dogs. My dogs, they bark for less than 2 minutes coming out in the morning at 7:30, and then all their little collars go on, and then they go back in, they come back out at lunch, midday. So the noise would be extremely short. And when they're outside running around in their play area, they are very quiet. Let's just say someone was to deliver a package. If someone was to deliver a package, they would bark less than 1 minute, and that would be it.
Yeah.
So with the noise, I'm very comfortable to keep that at bay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's sort of the major concern with
There's
the
bigger
neighbors.
dogs that bark there, and our dogs being a flat-nosed breed, if they were to bark longer than 5 minutes, we'd probably be in the hospital. They wouldn't be able to do it. They're too small.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, anybody else, any comments?
Councillor Coolin?
Oh, Councillor Coolin, sorry.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Let's be fair, every dog will bark, doesn't matter if they're small or
yeah.
large. I have a
Yeah.
small Boston Terrier, every dog will bark. And dogs like to bark at their neighbor dogs. They do.
They
So
talk.
if the other dogs are in the existing neighbor of your property bark, your dogs, whether they reciprocate and bark at all, either way, a dog's bark. So my question is, how close is your nearest neighbor? Like, I mean, how close is the?
I have
The ne-
Quiet Waters adjacent to me, and each of our properties on Lugger Lake are about a little bit bigger than half of an
Oh, okay.
acre. So we're all side by side by side by side, and then waterfront. And
Okay.
then Quiet Waters was established behind us.
And I'm sorry, what is your first name? I apologize.
My name is Jenna.
Jenna.
Yeah, no worries.
And none of your dogs are out in the evening?
No, I can't.
No, no.
Can't.
And this is a new business for you? This is a
yeah.
business initiative for you?
This is,
Okay.
yes, this is
Yeah.
our business.
So the dogs don't stay out all night and bark
Oh
all
my
night?
God, no, I would
I'm
lose
just
them.
asking.
No, they would be
You know, so
gone.
there's scheduled times, they go out, they play, they
I
come
have
in.
very scheduled times.
Every dog loves a schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good, John. Thank you.
Okay, Tina?
Thank you. Actually, this was lots of good information, especially the reference to the videoing that you have and so evidence-based decision-making, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Going outside of the discussion here in terms of dogs and barking and the noise, remind me again what zone this is? Is it general basic?
General basic.
General
Yes.
basic, okay, so that's good. So general basic, so I guess this is a business, and so I would be curious as to the noise bylaw and the decibels and how we measure that for dog barking compared to any other development that takes place in general basic. This isn't to you necessarily, but it's for us to consider. So for
Yeah.
me, when I think of this as a business, and I think of the noise bylaw, and I think of, the forestry practices in my community.
Like a chainsaw or whatnot,
Exactly.
way lower.
So for me, I guess some of that decision, again, that would come into play. So,
Okay.
Thank you
See
for
where you're
being
coming
here.
from. You're welcome.
Yep, thank you.
Well, she appears to have it under pretty good control, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I'll put a motion on the floor.
Okay,
I'm not sure, I would recommend option 2, just because I'd uphold the granting of the license, I don't know what the other provisions are. It says uphold the granting of the license with additional conditions.
Well, that,
Well,
So
we don't-
are those additional conditions, safeguards and limitations is deemed reasonably appropriate to protect the neighborhood? And I think she's doing that anyway. but-
yeah, so the option 2 would be if council wanted to approve the license but add some additional
Add
conditions,
Well, I'm just.
then send that would be
option
number
one
two.
is, option 1 is what we're really at, I think.
Uphold.
no,
Well, I
sorry.
haven't heard
Three.
No, that's what I'm, no.
Number 3.
No, number 3.
My motion is to grant the license.
Uphold.
So that would be number
three.
option 3. The option.
Number 3.
Oh, reject the appeal, I'm sorry, and issue, sorry, yes, option 3,
Okay.
sorry.
So
No
it's
worries.
moved. We have a seconder to the motion.
So there's a motion on the table to reject the appeal
Yeah.
and issue
The
the conditional
license.
license.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion.
This will be, it is reviewed after a year, if there are any issues and whatever, correct?
Correct. So
Okay.
Kendall, as our bylaw officer, as mentioned, looks after all of our kennel licenses, so there is a requirement for those renewals to happen. And so, so Kendall would be doing those follow-ups.
Yeah,
when the
and we
when the
always,
renewal is due.
always respond to complaints, you have to.
Yes.
So, you know,
And that's good, because if we do hear anything within the next year, we'll be able to look
Yeah.
at it again. That's,
That would be perfect.
yeah.
any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck with your business.
Thank you, dear.
You want some dogs, do you, Bella?
They're beautiful. I have a waiting list.
People want dogs more than they do kids.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, now where am I in this agenda? I think I'm on 10.2. 10 point, yeah. 10.2. Where the frig is 10.1 is gone.
10.1 is gone.
10.2.
10.2 and 10.3 are updates, departmental updates.
Yep, corporate.
Happy to provide those as information unless you have questions and you would like us to run through them.
Do you have questions and want them to run through them? Do you have questions about 10.2? Do we have questions about 10.2 and want them to run through it, or have you read it and you're comfortable with it?
Comfortable.
Comfortable, okay, what about 10.3? It's a basic update? Okay. Year-end variance report, Director of Financial Services. Is that?
Not comfortable.
No, that's always different.
So this one definitely is mostly being presented for information. As you recall, in September, we went through the audit committee and reviewed the audited external financial statements. However, council and most staff and most of the public know our financials by the budget that we present. So this is just really representing that information in the format that people are more comfortable and familiar with, to show actual spending, revenues, variances to budget.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go through all the details.
Always variances.
But of course, yeah. So, as always, the budget and actual figures are presented as a net expenditure. So a positive number is an expense or a loss. A negative number in brackets would be a gain or a revenue. When it comes to variances, negative and positive mean favorable and unfavorable. And that is always to the operating fund, right? So when you're looking at contributions to reserves, a negative number is a higher contribution to reserve than budgeted, right? So that's in some senses a good thing.
We don't
even though
mind
it's
that.
presented as an unfavorable variance. And then it's just presented as you're used to seeing the last few years, the operating budget report with notes on significant variances and what contributed to those. It is presented still under the old organizational structure. So before we broke the INO department, infrastructure and operations, into two different departments, because that is how last year's budget was presented.
Yeah.
And on the very last page is the capital budget for the year with spending and some notes on project status. So whether it's carried forward into the current year, whether it was completed. There were a couple that were rescoped, as in they're in the current budget, but they didn't fully align with the carry forward. And then a couple that were deferred. I highlighted two items on the last page in capital just to bring note, because they were not in the most recent version of the capital budget. One of them was the landfill cell 4B construction. Council did approve through an RFD some spending on design work. It just wasn't in the document, so I've highlighted that. As well as some J-class road rehab for work done on in 2018. As with a lot of these provincial run construction and our contribution, there can be a significant delay between when the work is done and when we get the final invoice. This is one where we had actually assumed that that was all done because of how long ago it was, and got a fairly small final invoice on this project. So that's reflected there with zero budget, but about $27,000 in spending.
Yeah. Questions, people? Oh,
I'd just like, so Tim, are you satisfied or pleased with the difference between the actual and the variance overall?
So there was a favorable variance of just over $1.4 million.
Yeah.
I mean, pleased is, it depends on how you're looking at it, right? Like, sometimes you want to spend to your budget to make sure you're delivering on exactly what you plan to. However, favorable variance is certainly
Better than
preferable to an
yeah.
unfavorable variance.
Yeah.
It means that much money was contributed to has been contributed now to the general operating reserve to continue to grow that fund. Whereas if there was a deficit, we would have to then draw from reserve,
sure.
right?
Yep, thanks, Tim.
It's the best it can get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so what do we need to, do we need a motion?
So,
here? I
no,
mean,
that
is
one
this-
is mostly just for information
Just
and to
for-
get that document into the public record and for council to be able, and the public to be able to review and look
And
at
answer
that.
questions, yeah.
There is, the next item in the agenda, 10.5,
Five.
kind of follows from that capital piece,
Yeah,
right? So, I have a request for decision, to approve the adjusted capital investment plan, document.
yeah,
So this is to capture a number of changes that council has approved through individual RFDs of various items. There were
yeah.
7 different items that council has approved through specific motions since the budget was passed.
Yep.
That would increase the capital budget for the year. The details of that are included in the first table on that request for decision, starting at the bottom of page 1, continuing on to page 2. And then also to adjust the carried forward amounts in the capital budget from the estimates that were made when building the initial budget to the actuals that are presented in that previous document that I showed you. So what we're looking for in this one would be a motion to approve the amended
Changes?
capital budget document.
Yeah. Somebody prepared to move that? Tom moved it, Della seconded it. Discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried.
Thank you.
Okay, speed radar program, Public Works. Nobody pays attention to it, but other than that,
Good morning, council. Today I'm bringing a request for some direction. As your document shows, we've had the 7 mounted speed radars in for the last roughly 3 years. The last one just went in this spring. We've been collecting the data, but I've had no direction on what am I doing with the data now that I have it. Am I forwarding it on? Am I just having them there as visual reference? So I'm looking for some direction on that. And I have attached to your report annual speed report for 2024. So I just did the 1 year. So the only thing missing from that is the last one that was installed at Robinson's Corner. So that's not in this data because it was only in May. But it's showing that it's not changing the driving habits of the public. I'm still reaching 142 kilometers an hour in Blandford within the 50 zone, 127 in Chester, 115 in Hubbards, 115, sorry, was Chester Basin, 144 is Hubbards. New Ross was 125 and Western Shore was 137. So this is just, at some point throughout that year, there was somebody driving that speed within those times, or speed zones, and they're all 50s or 60s, so.
I think I knew who's doing the 100 and something for sure.
So yeah, so within the year, we're still getting speeders. I'm still 130s in Blandford. Blandford, I think, is one of our worst spots right now. And it's coming into an S term, so that's kind of conserving. So do I forward this data to the RCMP? Do I forward
well,
it
I think
to-
that's the main purpose of it, is if we notice that people are going well above the speed limit there, to let them know so that they can try to catch some of them. I mean, that's, unless I'm wrong, and that was the main reason we would have collected it.
Send it to the RCMP.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second half of that is the mobile speed unit. We have issues with that. I still need a permit every time I place it, so I still have to go to the province to ask permission to place it. And most of the roads do not have enough shoulder width to place this trailer safely. So it's becoming a hazard more than a help when I do place it out there. So I'm requesting that we decommission that part of the program and stick with the mounted units. I can repurpose this out to the landfill for now because they are having some issues on our roads. I can put it out there, it's out of the way, and then they can help with that. But for safety wise, it's just not safe to keep putting that trailer out there. We just don't have the widths normally to do it.
What do you think? May make sense?
Yeah, I can just, yeah, I know, I've been in touch with Tammy about trying to put the mobile sign in my area, and it was just, it got to a point where we had to put it on private property or asked to put it on private property. That's not actually the answer.
That's not feasible.
No, you just, yeah, okay. Thanks.
So are we gonna,
This was an information or request for a decision. I didn't really have any emotions, I don't think, with this, so.
well, we
We
just.
would look
Oh,
for
I did,
a motion.
options. Options are direct staff to submit a monthly report to the RCMP Advisory Committee, as well as a quarterly update to council to discontinue the trailer. Option 2 was to submit the reports to the RCMP, as well as the quarterly update to council and continue the trailer. Direct
No,
staff to
we
provide more
want you to,
information.
we want you to send the stuff to the RCMP and get rid of the trailer.
Option 1 it is.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you
Did
very much.
somebody make that motion, or we moved, seconded? Seconded, discussion?
So my discussion.
Yeah.
So for my communication to the community, in which they reach out to me as well in terms of placement of the mobile unit, it's not effective.
It's not
Okay.
effective.
It makes no difference.
No.
and
Same
it's-
as the other
The
ones.
evidence is that it makes no difference and it's not effective. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried.
Thank you, council.
Okay, I think I'm on to possibly the last page of the thing. Marine boat pump.
Yes, good morning. We discussed this at an earlier policy and strategy meeting about our services.
Yeah.
And with the marine boat pump, we priced out new pumps, and you're looking at $25,000, and we get infrequent requests. And even then, you know, it's usually outside of our hours, and our recommendation is just to get rid of it, right?
We aren't getting much use.
No.
Tom, you
Yeah.
made that motion? Do we have a seconder to the motion?
I'll second it, I have a question.
Okay.
So availability to pump out in our area, is it still the South Shore Marine? Do
That's
they
my
have a pump?
understanding, yeah.
Your understanding,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I hope.
I don't know of
there's-
any others, right, but, yeah.
Well, I think people can still go there, it's not that far by water.
Yeah,
I'd hire one of the local contractors.
yeah, and we haven't had it working in over 2 years, so,
Okay.
Well, yeah, but
It
yeah.
hasn't been missed.
No, we didn't even get any requests during race week, so.
okay, Andre, you had some?
Well, that was actually one of my questions was, how often do we get requests?
Yeah.
You're saying just one busy week?
Yeah, that'd be about it. We had 2 or 3 the first year, and then some are having the problems with it, and then haven't been able to get it going since, and then pricing out new ones, and, yeah.
I don't know, I didn't notice in the report, what's the cost of removal?
3 to 5,000, and if we can save the building, we'll take it out for a waste sorting shed at the new facility, so it won't go to waste, if it's movable, right? And then we can pave it up there, and everything should be done easily, less than $10,000 for sure, right? And then maybe that opens up another opportunity in that area.
Yeah, that wharf is very, very valuable to recreational boaters. A lot of people have moorings,
Yep.
locals especially, and they keep their
Dinghies
dinghies
there.
and stuff there. You know, I'd like to see more investment in that wharf in some way if we're gonna remove the sewage pump out, you know. I know it gets crowded there. We should probably be looking at adding more floats at some point because it's very popular,
Yeah, no, it's a good
Okay.
spot for that, for sure.
maybe in next year's budget.
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried.
Great. One down.
Okay, 11 point, yeah, I got it someplace. Letter from Nelson Bezanson regarding 40s boundary, and it's just an information letter, really. This point in time. 12.1, request for decision prepared, appointment of development officer.
So, council, anytime that we have a new development officer join our team, that we have to follow the guidelines in the Municipal Government Act, and that position is required to be appointed by council before carrying out the duties of development officer. So after going through the hiring process, we're very fortunate to be able to hire Trevor Hume. Some of you may know Trevor. And so Trevor has started work with us and kind of been going through the orientation process. And we are now at the point of requiring council to do the official appointment so that Trevor can officially start to take on some files and proceed with them. So we're asking for that official appointment to happen today. And then if you have any other questions for Trevor, you can do that as well.
Well, he can tell us all about himself if he wants, but.
That would be a boring story. Very happy to join the team.
That's good. Councillor Vino? Yeah.
I think you were first.
Well, if yours is ready, I don't know.
All right, fine. So, I'm really happy that Trevor is with us. He's a resident and lives in my district. I've known Trevor for a long time. He's a good dude. And it's nice to see one of our residents in this position. It's really great. I was really happy to hear the news.
Tom?
Thank you, Warden Weber, through you to Trevor. Congratulations. This is exciting for me. You and I have worked together a few times in our careers.
Yep.
And it's nice to see you home. I know your family must be ecstatic to have you back in the area and less traveling. And I'm looking for good things. You know our communities well, and you'll be a great asset. And I'd make the motion if it's not been made.
Appoint him?
Yes.
Do you have a seconder?
Thank you.
You wanted to speak?
Yeah, sure. Unlike everybody around this table, I don't think I know you. And you could just tell me a little background about
Sure.
yourself and your work. Obviously, you're the candidate, you've been elected, you're in the top of your interview team, but tell me a little bit about yourself then.
Sure. I grew up in the village, was born in the Grace, and other than that, in a 10-year stint in the city, I've lived in the municipality. And I live at Otter Point right now. I have 2 boys and a spouse, and very happy to be working in my home municipality.
And your work experiences?
Yeah, I worked previously for the town of Lunenburg, and before that I was in private sector for 25 years.
Okay.
So hope to bring that knowledge to here, and very capable, you just heard from Heather, very capable senior development officer that I'll be working under, and so I'm very excited to be part of the team.
And you're currently back home, basically.
Yes.
So you're gonna have empathy, and you're gonna have a more personal, story to fill your role. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Open knowledge is a wonderful thing. It is. Absolutely.
It is.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion is carried.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
to the team.
Appreciate it.
The only one additional comment that I'll make is we were successful in hiring a second development officer as well. So Chris Burns is the name. And Chris is going to be starting on December the 1st. And so once December comes
He'll be
around,
back in
you'll
here
see
too.
a similar report that'll come forward for Chris as well.
Yeah, him I don't know, I don't think.
No, you would know Chris.
Okay, see you later. Okay, 12.2, request prepared coastal engagement schedule. No, he's not.
Good morning. All right, council. Well, I know there's been a number of discussions having to do with the postal strike and fallout therefrom. So this is another one. So we had spoken to you, or I had spoken to you last a couple of months ago, with a proposed schedule for a series of meetings to start to talk about coastal regulations and engagement with the public. we had 5 meetings planned for October, the first of which would have actually been earlier this week if we'd been able to hold to that schedule. But unfortunately, shortly after we got the go-ahead from council, we heard the news that the mail wasn't going to be delivered, and the backbone of our engagement or our outreach was based on the flyer mail, getting a flyer into every mailbox in the municipality. So as staff, we discussed and we thought it would be best to bring this back to council for a little bit of discussion and direction on how we want to proceed. And ultimately, the 2 options that I've put forward are fairly different options. And I think it really comes down to council's decision as to whether the urgency to get this work done necessitates going forward now with alternative advertising, which to be fair, we have done for our municipal plan reviews. And so what I would anticipate there would be newspaper ads, potentially looking to do radio ads, which we normally don't do, our typical posting around the office and on social media. And as well, and we did this for our municipal plan review back in 2020, staff went around to as many locations as we could find and posted laminated flyers, so on community mailboxes, in stores, and other locations like that. So if council's opinion is that this work is too important to delay, then that would be my suggestion as we go forward with essentially utilizing all the other forms of advertising aside from the ad mail. On the other hand, and this, I think both sides have their merits here. If council feels that, you know, the really extensive outreach is the critical piece to this, then the recommendation will be let's wait
until the post office
until the post
opens,
office is back, which probably would mean even if the post came back, you know, in a week, we probably would be looking at the new year to get those meetings scheduled. So it's not a huge delay either way. Again, pros and cons to both, so really we just wanted to bring that to council for discussion.
Do you think it's critical that we do it now, or do you think we wait?
I think we should wait because what happens, well, you know what it's like when we do any public engagement. Once it's done, they say, well, we didn't know about it. So this is just this magnifies it, so I think we should just wait till we can, I mean, I don't think it's that urgent. I mean, in the whole scheme of things, I mean, the earth's not gonna die tomorrow, is basically what I'm saying, or it's not that urgent that for me, what I'm trying to say is that the cost benefit of letting people know that it's there and just hoping that they'll know by what we do, I think it's worth the wait till we can actually mail out.
Anybody else have any opinions?
Just a quick one.
Councilor Coolin?
Thank you. I understand the mail services touches every single person. I'll be perfectly honest, being a retired postmaster, a lot of people do throw that with the flyer. I mean, you know, and you have to understand that if they have no fire service, if they choose not to have that, then they don't get it. So it doesn't go to every home, so let's make that perfectly clear. But if we choose to postpone it, and the mail strike comes back on, why can't we not also do, without too much cost to the municipality, still do the social engagement on the website?
Oh, we still would
Still
do
can
some.
communicate in other avenues other than just relying on a flyer service.
That's an excellent point, and I should have made that clear, that I would say out of the list there in 1A, probably the only thing we wouldn't do without specific direction would be the radio ads. That's not typically part
Which
of
is
our.
the cost of variant,
Yeah,
the
that's
cost
right.
component to that, so,
That's right.
yeah.
But
we
yes,
would
I should have made
still
that
put up
point, that we,
posters. We'd still
along with
have
the
it on
flyer, we'd still
Facebook.
do the social media, we'd still do the website, we'd still do all of our typical advertising pieces.
And
Yeah,
the people
thank
that
you.
are passionate about this, because I had like, you know, quite a few calls when I had to call them and say that the engagements were postponed. A lot of it's word of mouth as well, you know, so as soon as the dates are reassigned and stuff, that person will tell the person, you know, so it can work. But as far as let's be clear, a flyer is a great avenue for people, absolutely. But it doesn't touch everybody. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Andre?
You know, we're not changing the bylaw yet. All we're doing is trying to have some meetings so we can start talking to folks. You know, so, you know, if we're impaired in some way because we can't reach people through flyers or whatever, and we want to go with alternative means of communication, I don't really see a big barrier to that, you know, getting the conversation started. Now, we don't have to cluster all of the meetings together. We could start having meetings and spread them out, at least start having the talks and start getting some feedback, which will inform future meetings, I think, a bit. You know, people, once they learn of this, they'll, even if, like, let's say there was one in Hubbard's, and because they didn't consume whatever form of communication that we used, they missed the meeting, but then they learned of it, and there's another one in Blandford, they will drive there. You know, if we spread out the meetings a bit, you know, maybe then we'll bridge over some of this disruption. And, you know, if, you know, I just feel like maybe having a meeting or two just to get the balls rolling rather than just sitting on our hands waiting for the postal strike to, or whatever's going on with the Canada Post to clear up. I think that's, you know, there are already so many delays with government. It's a common criticism in every level. And, you know, I just, you know, this is a concern that's been raised by residents consistently, especially on the Aspetuagan. And I think it's worth trying to reach people. If we find that we're not getting any turnout, you know, we can then postpone, but we could try to get a meeting or two going and see what happens. You know, that's my take on it. I'm okay with giving it a go, using the tools we have available at our disposal.
Anyone else have any comments? Well, then we're at a point where we gotta make some kind of a choice. What do we wanna do?
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the process with the alternative measures.
You have a seconder?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
The only caveat, as I said, would be maybe we just not group the meetings so tight together, give people a little more chance to speak amongst themselves and for it organically to move through the communities. So if you spread them out a bit, I think you'll have a better chance of hitting everybody.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna move forward that way, we sort of have to make it clear that these are just preliminary you know, you guys know how to word it, but to make sure that people are of the understanding that
We may be doing more.
we may be doing more.
We'll see
and
how it turns out.
Just communicate that. I think communication is important.
Yeah, see how
So,
it
yeah,
turns
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed, motion's carried.
Great, so we will put together a little more
best you can
spread
and-
out schedule and let you know as soon as we have those dates. Thank you.
Okay. Award of Otter Point wastewater treatment plant upgrade tender. 4.3.
Yeah, you should.
We're getting there. Okay.
Okay.
I might be in conflict, because I think we were involved, we were the consultant.
Yes.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna stay away from this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let the record show that conflict was declared by Councillor Reno.
And,
That it was because he was part of the. Yeah, Sable is our consultants on this project, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Otter Point, it's been taking quite a while. 2023, when we went out for bids, our budget was basically just 1.1 million. And the contracts came back at 2.5 million and 3 million, which we thought was just crazy at the time. So we got permission from Council of the Day to keep the Waterloo biofilter technology, which we have in Mill Cove. All our operators are familiar with that. And then we started, you know, in-house and with our consultant looking at different options and how to save some money and move things around on site. And then we'll do the well ourselves and cut some of the electrical under the consultant and that. And we basically broke it down into 4 smaller bites, and then we sent it out to smaller contractors as well. And only one of the contractors came back with every taking a shot at everything. And, you know, considering it's 2 years later, we knocked off $500,000, so.
That's a good thing.
That'll help, yeah. Yeah, so it's, the recommendation is to award it to Split Pine Construction, and it will take another $1 million to do the work. And financially, you know, to complete the project, you know, $1,079,970.48 net HST, and we do have contingency in there. It's recommended come from borrowing to be repaid from the sewer operating fund over the life of the assets. So that'd be, should be easily 15 years, and a lot of it is the seawalls and things like that in the outfall, which should be good for much longer. And there'll be a pad for another unit that, when we get ready to expand for another 20 residents, we just put another Waterloo in. So a lot of the work now is gonna benefit us down the road, so.
Okay, Tom?
Through you, Warden Weber, thank you, Fred. This is very good. I mean, the savings is incredible, and it is,
Yeah.
times are changing. I'll make the motion that we move forward with the project as noted to Split Pine Construction.
Seconder? Seconded by Abdallah. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Now, I don't know how complicated this will be, but we're on to district grants. Do you want them all divided up, or do you want them?
I don't. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with doing them
Well,
as a
they're all
group.
right here. Everybody can see them. Somebody want to move we approve them?
So moved.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Oh. Yeah, you did an excellent job on that one. Okay, now what did I have on here? Municipal Awareness Week. Or what?
Municipal Awareness Week, yep.
Okay. Somebody has that added.
Councillor Connors.
You're on, Tina.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. So I guess Municipal Awareness Week, as we all know, falls in the month of November. And at times, we do look at moving our one council meeting within that month to Forest Heights. So I
Yes.
am looking to see if we would give consideration to doing the same.
Be happy to.
Yes,
I was gonna
excellent,
bring
very
that
good.
up pretty soon myself, that it's time to go out there.
Yeah, and I actually just really thought of that on my drive-in today, or else I would have probably chatted with, you know, with staff, or that would have come to council as part of the agenda at some point, but, you know, we all get on board with everything. So yes, thank you for that.
Does anybody have a problem with that? We go to Forest Heights whenever all we have to do is make sure that they're available on the day that we're available.
Yeah, and it could, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so staff will look after that. And now it's out and about.
Woo-hoo! Okay, so,
I just want to make a note that I'm not here on the 13th of November, just.
Well, we'll,
Yeah, a date has to be assigned.
we'll try to figure it out that we're all.
thank you for that. Yeah, that's good too. Very important. So out and about, I'm going to highlight very quickly three out and abouts. So as it relates to the New Ross District Museum Society, 2 meetings to note. There was, on September 11th, there was a special meeting that was held. It was well advertised and open to all who wished to attend. And that was called by the chair and the board of directors, not by the staff. And there were probably a couple of hundred people in attendance. I lost track of numbering when they had to bring out the more chairs and expand it out into the hallways. It was very respectful, and it was open, and it continued as long as people wanted to step up to the mic and discuss whatever they would like to discuss about the Ross Farm and the operations. Just wanted to bring notice of that meeting. And 2, still on the New Ross District Museum Society, the AGM was delayed by a few months this particular year, calendar year, or operating year of the Ross Farm. They needed to really pay some special attention to the audited statements, and sometimes, you know, that does delay a meeting, but to put things in proper order, the AGM has been called for October the 29th. Again, I'm seeing much advertising in terms of posters as well as social media. The members of the Ross Farm District Museum Society, of which I'm not a paying member, because I prefer to be able to speak when I would like to speak and not be not have the, not have the potential for a conflict. So I know that memberships are through the roof, which is a good thing, And so members will be, are contacted directly. Not being a member, I pick it up in other ways, either on their website, social media, or posters. That is being advertised, as I said already, October the 29th. The time is 6:30 p.m. and the location is at the 40s Community Center in New Ross. So for all who wish to attend. Just wanted to mention that, that's one. Number two, I would welcome questions at any
You have
particular
a
time.
question, do you, Andre?
Oh, yeah, sure. So the meeting that was attended by several hundred people, somewhere in that range,
Yeah.
would you be able to help council to understand, like, give us a synopsis of maybe what was discussed?
Sure,
Sounds like
sure.
it was a very interesting meeting.
Sure.
It drew a big crowd.
Yeah, no, actually, it was interesting, but it was very uneventful and very tame. We were all on the edge of our seats throughout the course of it, but I assumed I'd be hours, and it was probably about an hour and a half, if that, maybe an hour. It was all videotaped in case it needed to be for whatever reason down the road.
Oh, so
That
he
video,
can watch it?
that videotape is private, but it was done, and there was, of course, as well, there was security on site, highly present, inside, outside. It needed to be. So the only questions, so there was a report and a synopsis of what's been happening historically, in the last few months at the farm in the last year. Reference was made to the province of Nova Scotia in terms of budgets and reporting and all of the above. Except for one individual, which I'll refer to in a second, there were simply accolade after accolade after accolade stepping up to the mic in terms of the level of respect that the staff deserve and going forward, and the decorum and the way they handled themselves, and that was well noted. Because of certainly communication that wasn't always accurate being communicated, and that's a hard thing to fight. I know it myself. It's hard to get in front of wrong information, just from personal experience. There was one individual that stepped up to the mic that, again, it was a public meeting, and that was the individual that would have, she felt she interviewed for the executive director position. The individual heading up the hiring committee addressed that and said that wasn't actually the case, and handled herself as a board member who I'd never met before, don't know, very well. And she explained it point by point by point, which helped address some of that wrong social media as well. So the person that was heading up some of the incorrect social media was that individual herself in terms of the interviewee. So to the surprise of the crowd, that individual had the microphone and chose to talk about herself in the interview and not about the animals. So we felt in the crowd that was a strong message.
She was pissed off.
So I could go on about Mr. Keddy's chairperson's report, the treasurer's report. They actually voted in, and they had advertised well in advance that they would be voting in interim board of director members, 3, because 3 individuals were stepping down, including the chair, which was current at that time, Mr. Keddy. So he was stepping away, and 2 others were stepping away. So at the AGM, there will be a call for board members, and those 3 individuals may continue, they may not. Again, it's like any AGM, when there's a call for board members, nominations, and so on.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so now number 2, thank you, Councilor Vino. Number 2, many would know that there is a large mural in New Ross, and it's on the side of the Clover Farm. And it was designed and put up, artists that did the work on it, and it was erected in 2015, leading into our 2016 year of our 200th anniversary. So it's 10 years old, and it's in need of some TLC, more than TLC from what we understand. So and I say we, because I am a member of the New Ross Regional Development Society in this case. So we've been looking at how we can remove it, get the original artist to take a look, and so on. So we are hoping to move forward, but it's going to come down to a budget, actually, from what we just discovered last evening. But I do want to mention that around our deliberation, around the table, we've grown since 2015, and we've decided that some additions specific to inclusion need to be there. So as part of that, the suggestion was made to reach out, and reach out was extended to the First Nations band that includes or covers the territory of New Ross's reserve. You know that we have a reserve in New Ross. They were contacted to have one of the panels designed and painted by a Mi'kmaq artist. The answer that we received was no. They are not interested due to the location. Alcohol is sold at this location where it is placed at the Clover Farm. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay.
Thirdly, any questions? Don't think.
Just keep going.
So it's of particular interest. So thirdly, just want to give you, pardon? Oh, sorry, what? Sorry. So thirdly, that's it, then I'm done, is just an update on the New Ross Community Care Center. So just wanted to mention, the community was made aware, notified, earlier this week that on social media, the group, and I'm not a member of the group, so when I say we, I'm going to read just what was here. So if I slip into the word we, I'm not part of it. The group is pleased to announce another step forward for the housing development. To be clear, this is the housing development of 11 units that the group is pursuing. Not any other levels of government, but the group itself. To complete preliminary work required by our funders, tree clearing will begin on the Rosebank Road property on Tuesday, October 7th. Large machinery will be on site as several spots are cleared for the driveway, the building lot, the parking lot, the septic, etc., as part of that 11 units. The work is expected to take about 1 week. To ensure the safety of all, Larders Lane Trail will be closed near the ball field entrance starting on that day. Signs were put up that night, the night before, and we were notified that it was happening. And again, thank you for your patience to the community as the group takes another step closer to building homes in the heart of New Ross. So I just wanted to mention that as an update.
Well, progress is progress.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Councillor Church, you have Church Park update?
I do. Just met in September, and a decision was made to... Oh, sorry. Is it now? Yep. Okay, sorry. Church Memorial Park met in September, and the decision of the board was made to start, to open the rink earlier, actually about a month early, a September 8th start. They started to put ice in, and we had a power outage on September the 5th. It was major. The ice was in, so actually they had to take it out because it was too soft. It had to be completely removed and put back in again. And really, the hockey community stepped up and helped to do that. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. But they managed to get it in, and the ice started at the time that they wanted to. And because of that, I think they're in discussion. Nova Scotia Power may do something about the loss and reimburse them for something. So, you know, it was a major loss. And one other thing, the roof, there was no roof project this year. However, the engineer has agreed to sign off that as long as they follow the monitoring plan in place for the roof, that things are okay until they do more work on the roof. And moving forward with our new manager, she's initiated quite a few things, some policy suggestions, and user group contracts, which were never in place, so those are initiated. And to come forward will be a policy on using helmets in the rink, which have never been. And I think, I can't see why the board wouldn't approve that, but it's coming forward. And they had to not dig a new well, but dig the existing well further down because they were running out of water. It's good for making ice in the rink, so they needed to do that. I mean, they have more than one well, but it just had to be done because they were running out of water and buying a lot of water. And just two other little things. A member from the new steering committee for the new facility came in and gave a bit of an update to the board. And they were asking for consideration that Church Memorial Park would set up a capital campaign account so that money could be filtered through there. And they haven't made a decision yet, but the ask was made. And the last thing is the garden boxes that are at the rink. I believe that the Growing Friends are trying to get a grant to take them over. They want to expand it a little bit and do a bit more work, so that's very good news.
Yeah, good for them.
So, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Asa?
Yeah, I just because of the rink stuff, I don't know if anybody's aware, but there's a report out there. I don't know if it was a provincial initiative or that there's a big demand for ice time. And that's because there's more kids playing hockey, believe it or not. I heard that this morning, and I think one of the big, I think they said there were 51 facilities around, and I think the biggest part of the report that they found was that there wasn't a lot of communication between rinks to try to coordinate ice time. I mean, I only got bits and parts of it, but obviously rinks are something that, you think that our population is less, but there's a lot of kids being registered for hockey still.
That's good.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I just caught the last end of it, but I'm gonna try to find the actual report, so, yeah.
Andre?
Only that, it was just a question, should we give a brief update on the other facility, that committee? I mean, we've met several times and we haven't really come back here and just.
Yeah, maybe we should get.
Yeah, we can get Gord to come in and do one on the next agenda.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be lengthy, just to give an idea.
Where we are.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, now people, to the very best of my knowledge, I'm on to the only item left, which is an in-camera matter. So a motion to go in camera. Oh, moved, seconded by Clarissa. There we go in camera. Discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. You got everything turned